Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-September 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Gemini collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for these beautiful Geminis in mid-September? What energies, messages, insights can we have a peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Geminis in mid-September. What's happening with my good friends? What energies can we have a look at? There we go, quick. All right, so, and it's always amusing to me when this card shows up because like a lot of the ones I've been seeing this week, it's very simplistic. We just see that lady there holding the hourglass, but what's implied is pretty potent, actually, when we're talking about time and whether we're waiting or whether it's slipping away. So there's a lot of layers to this card. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So again, very simple, right? We see that beautiful lady there. She's holding the hourglass and sand is slipping through her fingers, actually. So when I see this, I think of time possibly affecting your situations or being important for one reason or another. Now, for a portion of you, maybe there's something you're waiting on, holding back and just waiting and sitting and waiting for, or I mean, it could really be any number of different ways, but it's somebody, I don't want to say wasting time, but it's kind of like I'm waiting. Now, I also always like to mention that we all experience time differently from day to day. Some of us, it feels like this year absolutely flew by. I'm sure there's some of you out there where it feels like time is just dragging. Something's taking forever and ever and ever. And I know we all have days like that where like some days are quick. It goes by in a blink of an eye. Sometimes it takes a long time. So time could be affecting you in one way or another when this is here. A big thing I always say about this card is to not waste time when it shows up. That could be a very simple message from spirit. So like make sure you're putting your energy and intention and attention towards things that deserve it. Like don't waste your time on things. And listen, from what I know of Geminis, they're not real big time wasters, usually very logical individuals. And they could say like, all right, is this serving me? Is this not? So, I mean, very simple advice. But again, time could be affecting you, whether it's flying or whether it's dragging or someone's waiting. So we're just going to leave it at that. Let's get into tarot. And I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Geminis in mid-September. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was centered around communication. The reading was titled An Important Talk. And that's an energy that could bleed over for a couple weeks. Always important to keep that in mind, but I saw a conversation of importance, whether it was something you wanted to speak about, whether someone wanted to talk to you about something. To me, it felt like the implications were pretty big. So keep your head on a swivel for that one. But let's see what energy shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Let's get it going. 3 cards for the Geminis, please. Let's get this reading going. What do we got in mid-September? All right, lots of fire energy here. Okay, we are starting with a bang. We are starting with the 8 of Wands. So the importance of communication or action are just showing up here in a very, very prominent way. And boom, we got the 1111 card right next to it. So a double dose of this. Spirit could be trying to give you little hints and heads up. Let's get one more, and we'll piece it all together. What do we have for Gemini? Thank you. Okay, 10 of Swords. Okay, so there may be a warning. Either that or this is something you could be recovering from still. And we will talk about it because I feel like the reading is a double-edged sword because there's beautiful, lovely energy, and there's also a cautionary tale here as well. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, I know I was giving a little commentary as the cards were coming out. And again, with all this fire energy, we have some air on the back end. So you know, I always say when you mix fire and air, it could be very volatile. It could be explosive. It could be unpredictable. And with the way I see it moving, I mean, I feel like for some of you, Spirit could be trying to send you little warnings and heads ups, and we'll have to take a look at that. But it's like we have the Eight of Wands moving towards something great, and then we have this energy here that's still lingering with the Ten of Swords. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. Position number one, the Eight of Wands. So I already mentioned it's one of the fastest moving cards in the whole entire deck, and depicted on it are these 8 wands just cutting through the sky. And I always say, to me, it feels like arrows just shooting. So it's either someone making a move, taking an action. It's something that happens really quick, suddenly. Again, explosively. That's the big vibe here with this card. It could be fiery back and forth, a lot of communicating, talking, chit chat. But at the same time, it could just be action in general. Now, when we get to the challenging aspect of this, because you know I always give you both sides of the coin, yes, this is fast. Yes, there's a lot of forward movement, but it's very unpredictable with this fiery type of energy. So whether it's situations that pop up out of nowhere or an event of some kind where it's just like, boom, it came in like an arrow, we're going to have to take a look at it and see whether it's conversation of some sort or an event. I really want to take a look at it. Now, I will say this, for a lot of Geminis out there, especially the ones that are energetically sensitive and have those empathic type gifts, when I move over to this Four of Wands, I do feel for a lot of you, Spirit's either trying to give you a heads up or communicate with you in one way or another. The Four of Wands, 1111 card. So I always say you might be seeing signs, synchronicities, omens whenever this card shows up. This is my biggest card of that. So the communication, this, and then we also have that loss on the back end. It's like interesting how the energy plays. So for some of you, yeah, maybe Spirit's trying to steer you in a very certain direction. Maybe for some of you, Spirit's trying to comfort you from something that you've gone through. That could be the case as well. Aside from that, the Four of Wands is celebratory. It's happy. This is a victory. It's the total opposite of what we have coming up. So we have great energy here. We have a great possible outcome. When the Four of Wands is in the mix, it could represent stability, it could represent the home, living situation, family. But I think of gatherings of people celebrating here, which is good. When we get to the challenge of the Four of Wands, aside from that thing I said about signs and omens, it could be stagnant sometimes. It could be something that is so sturdy that it's almost set in stone. Now, when we get to the back end, we have one of the more cautionary cards in the whole entire tarot deck. We have the Ten of Swords. Now, if you read or if you watch readings, you know this is one of the bigger challenges that we face within the tarot deck. But even this does have some positives and silver linings that we can glean. Now, when we see the Ten of Swords, it could represent endings. It could represent rough and tough endings that we've been through. It could represent pain that we're still holding on to, pain that we're recovering from, whether it's mental, emotional, even physical when this is here. So make sure you're taking care of your physical body and physical vessel when this card shows up. It could also represent loss. So for some of you, I feel like that is a very valid message that I was picking up, that some of you, Spirit, could be trying to comfort you for something difficult you've been going through here. With this Ten of Swords, for another portion of you, could very much be a warning with this. Now, one thing I will say with the Ten of Swords, it's rock bottom type of energy normally. So for a portion of you, the silver lining to this card is that everything has a silver lining. There could be a situation where it's gotten as bad as it's gonna get. It's like, to me, it's like, all right, there's nowhere to go but up. Everything now is on the up and up, which can be really nice. But again, like, this energy is lingering. So although we have like good action, good forward movement, we have positive energy, we also have this Ten of Swords, which is lingering. So for a portion of you, there might be a situation or pain that you're still working through or healing from. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Gemini. So let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we have for my beautiful Gemini friends? What is happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Eight of Wands. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to get to Gemini, you can put it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Eight of Wands time. What's happening? Good. Good. I mean, we're at least starting really good. We have the Empress in the upright. For some of you, this could be like really good news. For a portion of you, there could be a prominent mother figure starting to show up here in the energy. The Empress is goddess energy. It could represent a Taurus. It could represent a Libra. and it is ruled by that beautiful, abundant Venus type of energy. So we're starting really, really well. But I can't help but look at this Ten of Swords on the back end still, because we have so much positivity. So for a big portion of you, you could be really moving in a very positive direction, where the future looks bright. Even if currently right now you're still in the Ten of Swords realm, I feel like there's a lot of great energy coming towards you. Now, when I see her underneath the Eight of Wands, once again, I feel like this could be exciting news coming in, or a really fantastic conversation, or even a win. Like, this is huge, explosive win-based type of energy with all the fire and air, and then boom, the Empress comes in. It's like, whoa, okay, I wasn't expecting that. That took a good turn. That's kind of the energy this is making me feel. But again, for a portion of you with the Eight of Wands, and then this as a mother figure, there could be an energy of a mother figure around you, or trying to connect in one way or another. I mean, that's very specific for some of you, so just take that however it hits. But I like it. Aside from that, this feels very loving and caring here on the front end. And there's a certain level of protection as well. Okay, so I really want to keep pressing forward, because I feel like that's simple, straightforward. So it's like we have a mixed bag, because we have this energy that we should be watching out for, but at the same time, there's so much fantastic energy as well. Let's see what that Four of Wands has. Let's see what that Four of Wands has, please. I really want to keep pushing over, and we will. So why is the Four of Wands here? Quick, super quick. High hopes, more fire here. So we have the Two of Wands in the upright, very much plan-based type of energy, super strategic. I do feel for a lot of you, it's important if you're manifesting or creating or wanting a certain outcome, you be very specific about what the end goal is. And I feel like I saw that for the Leos too this week, but I feel like it's focus on the end goal, focus on where you want to put your energy, what the outcome is. Don't worry about the journey to get from here to there. Don't worry about all the in between. Look at what you're wanting in the end. I feel urged to give that message to some of you. However, I have to say again, with all this energy I picked up here, now the Four of Wands and the Two of Wands, these are more repeating numbers. I feel like for a lot of you, those signs, synchronicities, and omens are heightened in this time. And the way to really decode those, of course, you could do research, but your gut, your intuition, drawing you and saying like, okay, is this spirit comforting me, telling me that I'm protected, or is it spirit warning me? Okay, so we're just going to keep moving. I feel like it's a very simple, straightforward type of energy. But again, it's so bizarre to me, Gemini, because it's like all this energy is so great. So I would say for some of you, maybe it was something that for a long time, or it started off like really fantastic, like it was everything you could have wanted. So let's keep moving, because now I'm getting a lot of different energies starting to peek through. But again, aside from the omens and synchronicities, I feel for a lot of you, if you're purposely manifesting, live in the end result. I think that's what you want to focus on. So let's see whether the Ten of Swords is here. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So I will say this, I mean, 2/3 of the reading are very claimable. So let's see what the Ten of Swords has to say. It's the Ten of Swords here, please. Thank you. Queen of Cups. I should be happy, but I'm not. That's the first phrase that came through. We have the Queen of Cups in the upright. I should be happy, but I'm not. Okay, so I don't know if that's coming from you or coming from somebody else. If you're connected to a water sign, this is really rough energy that could really pop up between you and them. But even if that's not the case, there's a lot of maternal energy here as well. Okay, so there is like this energy from the spirit side for a good chunk of you as well. The Queen of Cups is highly emotional, highly intuitive, extremely sensitive. A lot of times she suppresses. So whether this is you or somebody else, there might be someone in your sphere of influence that is like really, really good at hiding the pain that they're going through, or they're really good at suppressing it. Okay, now I don't think that's a healthy thing. I never judge anyone, right? Because everyone's in different circumstances. But what I'm seeing here is those two main messages. Either that's somebody really suppressing and hiding some sort of pain really well, or this could just be somebody that's, you know, I should be happier, but I'm not for one reason or another. Okay. Ten of Swords, Queen of Cups, that is a recipe for emotional pain. Okay. So for some of you, it could be something that is still left unhealed. Okay. And again, I know it's a process, but the silver lining to this whole reading, even though we have this process, this pain on the back end, the front end is just simply superb energy. I would say 5 of the 6 cards are really great. Okay, so I feel like for a lot of Geminis in this time, it's important to look at the silver lining of things and try to keep a positive mind state if possible, because there's so many blessings. It isn't all bad. It really isn't. But yeah, this Queen of Cups could be very intense. This Queen of Cups could be very intense. So take from that what you will, whether it's someone else's energy or yours. It's just showing up in a powerful way. Either that or it's like, I mean, there's reasons to be super happy and over the moon, but it's not registering that way, which is very peculiar. All right, let's go through and do a quick recap here, Gemini. If you kindly look in the box before we get into the shadow card, position number 1, we're starting here with the 8 of Wands and the Empress in the upright. This is an explosive wind-based type of energy. So I either feel like some good, exciting news coming in. Of course, there's like this double energy of mother figure energy showing up in a powerful way. But to me, this just feels like wind-based type of vibes, which is really good. Moving to the center, we have the 4 of Wands with the 2 of Wands. I did say for manifesting, try to live in the end goal. But aside from this explosive wind-based type of energy in the front, there's this powerful energy of omen signs, synchronicities. So just use your intuition to try to decode whether Spirit's trying to send you a certain direction, comfort you, or warn you. Like you would really know if you looked within. Onto the back end, we have the 10 of Swords and the Queen of Cups in the upright. And the first phrase that went through my mind is, I should be happy, but I'm not. Or this is somebody that's really good at hiding things that they're going through and suppressing emotion. But at the same time, this could be something that's still lingering as well. So it's a complex reading this week, Gemini. So please take a screenshot if you want to do a little further research. Let's get into the shadows, though. Let's see what's in the shadows for my beautiful Geminis, guides, and spirit team. What do we got for my good friends? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going. What shadow card do we have for my dear friends? There we go. Thank you. The Fool. Okay, in this deck, this card is called the Seeker, but it is the Fool for a portion of you connected to an Aries. This is their vibe showing up right here. But if that's not the case, I always think of the Fool as a new beginning, a fresh start, a new journey. And with this showing up in the shadows, that could be really amazing. So for a lot of you, there might be a new journey or cycle that's like right on the edge of beginning for you. Okay, so like keep hope alive type of energy. Like this is really good. The Fool card is jovial. It's happy. It's lighthearted. Now, when we get to the challenging aspects of the Fool card, it could sometimes represent being spontaneous. So in this time watch, you might be having more spontaneous urges than you normally do. Don't do too many things on a whim. Okay, like this could be Spirit telling you like, hey, just calm, slow, steady, precise. And I mean, there's a little warning here about doing anything too outside of the box or too spontaneous in this short period of time when the Fool is here. But other than that, this could be great energy coming towards you, even if you don't quite see it just yet. So this is a very, very positive shadow card to me. But yeah, Gemini, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the September subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the September subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks of all time, the beautiful Wizard's Tarot. It's gorgeous and it works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, where would you like to go for your dream vacation? What are you manifesting? Let me know. Let's bring it to fruition. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you again.